Yeah, thank you for the opportunity of letting me interview you.
Not a problem, bro. Not a problem at all.
First question, was playing games for a living something that you ever like dreamed of when you were like a young little mada?
Yeah, it was. I always liked playing games, but I think the moment for me that kind of changed everything was when Cloud9 won the major in Counter-Strike. I don't know if you know about that. When they won it, I think I was like 14 around that time. I remember just watching that and thinking like, damn, like these guys were supposed to be so bad. That's what everyone was saying, and they won the major. Like, it was very motivational at the time, you know. Around that time, I was playing a lot of Counter-Strike too, and I looked up to players on that team like Stewie, so it was very motivational, you know. It was like the first big win for NA.
So, next question. I remember one time you said on your stream that like you got help from like OGs from your community to like get you into esports, right? Like when you were 12, right?
Yeah, I did. When I was growing up, it was Bobby,
Mhm.
Vegli. You see these guys in chat? Bobby, Vegli, and Sauce. I don't know who else is in here. They got me into ESEA and everything. I'm not even kidding. You see, Broken Beast, he paid for my league fees because I was too young to pay
Really?
for it. I'm not even kidding. Like, they wanted me to play that
Match
bad.
found.
They literally were the only reason I started competing.
Yeah, when you first started out at that time, was it like you wanted to do it for fun or was it like serious?
No, I just enjoyed playing mini games a lot in Counter-Strike. I was 12 years old, so I had nothing serious. You know, it was never anything serious. I was just playing. There was certain game modes, like it was called retakes, and I was just very good at it. I was one of the best players in the server. There, I played it all day. When I got home from school or when I got home from lifeguarding, whatever I was doing at the time, like I would get on the game and just I loved playing retakes. And when I was 13, people in that server, there was like a community server for like talking. It was like a TeamSpeak server where all the players would go, and I just became friends with those guys. And they asked me if I wanted to start competing. I said no because like wasn't interesting to me at the time. But they were very insistent. Like they paid for my league fees and everything. It was only like $5, but when you're 13 years old, $5 is a lot of money. You know, like I mean, they just helped me out in every way possible. They were encouraging me. They gave me so much confidence too. Like they were telling me I was the future and everything like that. Like they were so supportive, and it's just something I'm forever grateful for, you know?
Like they were very insistent because like they saw your skills and stuff.
Yeah. I was playing on these like servers, but I was playing against semi-pro players, and I was a nobody. Like I was a complete nobody. I was destroying them. So they saw it.
So I was wondering where does like your spirit to compete come from?
Uh, I played a lot of sports growing up as a kid, so I think coming from a competitive background, I had good coaches as well. My swim coach when I started swimming was a Russian Olympic, like a retired Olympic coach. So he was very competitive as well and kind of like drilled a lot of things into me. I also grew up with an older brother, and everything was always very competitive as well between us. I always wanted to beat him at everything, but I was way younger than him, so he just he beat me at every single thing, and I think that kind of like set a fire in my heart, you know?
Like what are some cons of being a pro esports player that people might not know?
I think the one thing that people don't understand is that you have to sacrifice so much, so many things. If your friends want to hang out, if your family wants to do something, if you want to have fun, sometimes like you have to do the boring thing and just keep working and keep working and keep working and keep working. And it's the same with anything in your life. Like if you want to be very great at something and get to the highest level, you have to make those sacrifices. I know people joke about esports a lot, saying it's an easy job, but it's also insanely mentally draining, especially at the highest level, because you're always trying to innovate, always trying to counter yourself, counter the enemies, and it's just a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of work and a lot of discipline.
What was like one sacrifice you made, like a personal one that you felt like really maybe made you regret esports a bit?
The one that stands out to me the most, there was this girl that I really liked when I was 15, and we were becoming very close, and then it was about to become spring break or March break, whatever. This is 2020, so March 2020. We were already like very close before then, and then we made plans. We're like, oh, we'll see each other during the break. We have like a week off, like let's hang out, whatever, and like go on a date, whatever. And it just never happened because of COVID. And I could have went with her. I could have went with her earlier, but I was just playing. I was just playing so much at that time. So it kind of made me regret it a little bit. But I mean, I moved on. It's fine now.
From what I could find online, your first like official LAN event was like in Valorant, but is that true?
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
it's first one was in Valorant.
it was like, what was it?
I think it was a Toronto in Toronto. I think it was Toronto LAN.
So what was it like to be at like your first LAN event?
It was actually a lot of fun. I mean, we won that LAN because our team was so good. I think it was me, Moose, Wardell, Xander, and Vic. So we knew we were gonna win the LAN from the very start. Like it wasn't even gonna be close. But it was cool to like meet everyone from online, from the like Valorant community.
How do you think like LAN compares to playing online tournaments?
Uh, I think the most obvious thing is when you play with ping, certain things just become impossible. So like I play on pretty high ping at home, and you can't, for example, you can't hold an angle. It's not possible when you have high ping. But when you have low ping, it's like you can hold angle, you can peek an angle. It's just whoever's a faster human at that point, like pure reaction time. Besides that, I think the crowd, for example, in champs finals when we played against Fnatic and we choked the 11-1 lead, like there's nothing funny about that. Put
I'm
that
not
smile
laughing.
away.
I'm not laughing. Yeah.
Speed, bro. I need this. uh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, when we lost that map on Abyss, like you take off your headset and the crowd is just so loud. Like they are cheering so loud for Fnatic, and it kind of like puts the thought in your head, like, damn, these guys really want us to lose. Like they really want us to lose and want them to win. So there's certain mental things that you just aren't there when you play online. When you play online, you're comfortable at home. Like, bro, when I played the qualifiers for EWC, we played them online. I was playing in my boxers for a week straight. I didn't even like I was so comfortable. And like that's my point. That's my point. It's like you can't be in your comfort zone at all times when you play on LAN.
You've been playing Valorant for pretty much 5 years, like non-stop. Like you literally just finished your prac like just now, right?
Yeah, like
So
30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago.
you just keep playing the game. So like I was wondering if there was ever a time where you like felt burnt out from playing the game.
All the time. All the time. I feel burnt out right now actually. That's why I'm not streaming. Um but I mean when you have to manage your body well. I know people joke about like esports, it's not a real sport, but if you want to be the best, I said this on stream the other day too, and people were clowning me, but it is true. If you want to be the best at this, you have to treat yourself like an athlete, even if we're not athletes, it doesn't matter. But treat your body well. And part of that is managing your burnout, managing your stress, working out, eating healthy. All these things matter a lot as well with being a pro player.
Continuing from that, have you ever like lost motivation like from wanting to play the game?
I have. I have. I thought about quitting. I thought about not wanting to play, but I always thought like if I quit now, like how could I live with myself? I've already dedicated so much and sacrificed so much since I was 14 years old to something. How can I just quit now? When I was 19, I think I had those thoughts a lot.
What are some important qualities that you think like an esports player should have?
You need to be able to work in a team. I think that's probably one of the most underrated, or not underrated, but overlooked things. That you see kids grinding ranked, and maybe they're like insanely talented, but they just have no idea how to work in a team. They think like the world revolves around them, which is normal. When I was 16, I felt pretty much the same way because like I was also a pretty like hot prospect around when I was 16, so I thought if I just play how I want to play, like nothing else matters, but it's not true. You have to be a good teammate. You have to be a good teammate inside and outside of the game. Be a good player, work very hard. I think those are like the main three things.
So, what do you think are qualities that esports players should not have?
I think the biggest thing that holds back a lot of players that I know that are even pro players, some of them have been franchise players, most of them are tier 2 players, but when your mental is very poor, I think that's something that people just, I mean, they cope and they say like that's just how I am, but it's not true. It's really not true. You can change anything that you want. I've had teammates that are incredibly toxic and it's impossible to work with them. You don't want to win with them even. Like you'd rather lose and just get off and not have to talk to them than want to spend another minute with them. And it's not a good feeling. That's like it just brings everyone down at that point. I think being toxic is one thing, and then I think complacency is also another. Like when a player gets really good and wins something, they kind of, chill, I made it. This is like what I've been working for. But that's just how people fall off. I'm not gonna name any names because it's pretty messed up, but I'm sure like a name probably comes to your head when I say something like that. If you think about VCT players, but people just get lazy, and that's something that I think our team won't do, which is good.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now in Valorant?
I have no idea, bro. I could not tell you. I really couldn't. I'm not someone that really thinks too hard about the future. Uh, I live very in the moment. I just try to like I don't even live for the current year. I live day by day. And as long as I'm working towards one goal, then I just know I'll reach it eventually.
Nice, but like I mean, you'll still want to see yourself on like successful teams and stuff, you know.
100%, 100%. I hope I've won more than any player has ever won.
When you won at Paris, on the outside, like you had like a very emotional reaction, right? Like you were sticking the bomb and like you kind of like started tearing up a bit, right? So
Yeah.
why do you think like your emotions at that time like started coming out like that?
It's like the thought that everything I've worked for, all the ups, all the downs, every single mistake, every single success, every single sacrifice, it all was worth it in the end. That's the end goal that everyone wants to get to. It's just it's indescribable, honestly, how it feels when, I just told you I've considered quitting before, and then fast forward a year, not even 2 whole years, a year and a half, I'm winning champs. So it's like a nice reward to yourself, for believing in yourself all that time and working so hard. It just all became worth it.
What do you think was like a pretty big factor of your champs win that people might not be aware of?
Uh, I think I would say Sam. I think Sam outside the game, as well as inside the game. I don't know what happened to him at champs exactly, but I was joking around and saying that like he got possessed by Kobe because he would literally never leave the prac room. He was always grinding. Even when like we would go to team dinners, he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay in. I'll order." Like, all right, do your thing. And then besides that, he was also like always keeping people accountable. When there was a prac day where two of us were very tilted, and Sam paused the scrim and he's like, "Bro, I don't care if you guys are. I don't." He's like, "You guys need to wake the fuck up. I don't know what you're doing." I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, who is talking right now? Like, this does not sound like Sam." And he just completely not put them in their place, but like he gave them a reality check. Like we're at champs. Like, why are we getting emotional during practice? Like, this is like unacceptable, pretty much. And I think I think that was one of those moments in esports where I was like, holy shit, like that was very inspirational in a way. Like now I want to be that person for my next team. He set the path for me. So I think I would give it to Sam.
Like he just seems like one of the most genuine players, right?
He's probably one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my whole life. He's just a very good person and like a great friend outside the game. Everything is amazing about this guy.
Who do you think was like a very underrated person that contributed to your champs run like that the public may not like recognize as much?
I think like besides anyone on our team, me personally, I would say I think honestly our manager. I'm not gonna lie. I think our manager is someone who we troll him all the time. We literally always mess with him and make his life horrible. But he helps us so much, and he's like always on top of everything that Bonk asks him for. And just having someone like that who's so on top of it makes your life a lot easier and lets you just focus on purely Valorant is like very underrated, you know? Like I don't think people actually people will never see that side of things, but he's one of the best managers I've ever had. So I mean it just helps so much.
Shout out to Managed by Rai. Yeah.
Shout out to Managed by Rai.
If you could give your younger self any advice, what would it be?
I don't even know. Give my younger self anything? Maybe take care of your health more. I feel like that's something that I overlooked a little bit in my like young teenage years. Like I was even like washing my face at a certain point. It was like so nasty, and I just became like gross, bro. And I was also gaining a lot of weight, which is like pretty unusual for me because I've been a pretty athletic person my whole life. And overall, there was a moment around COVID where I let myself go a little bit, you know, and I wish I didn't do that because I spent the next year just kind of focusing on my health, which was good. Like I definitely think it was like one of the best things I've done, but I just don't even like that I let myself get to that point in the first place because I think it held me back a little bit, even in esports.
So you've mentioned like COVID quite a bit, right? How do you think it affected the esports scene?
I can't speak on how it affected the esports scene, but I know for me, it affected me very positively. I mean, I probably wouldn't even be in the position I am if COVID didn't happen, to be fair, because as soon as online school happened, I was just much more focused on my dream of pursuing Valorant than I was for my online classes, which just doesn't sound great, but I always kind of knew where my heart was at, so I just chased my dream.
Was there like any other thing that you wanted to do besides like just playing games?
Like a dream, or
Yeah, like
what was I
a
gonna like
dream,
study?
yeah. Or like both.
I think I was gonna go into business or real estate, like for school. I applied for some good schools. I got accepted to most of them. But I had to make the decision between either pursuing that or Valorant, and it was a pretty easy choice for me at the time. So I guess there's that. And aside from dreams, I'm not gonna lie, the only dream I had since I was 14 was I wanted to do this, what I'm doing right now. So before that, uh honestly, nothing much, bro. Nothing special.
If you could pick any city from any country for an international tournament, where would you want it to be?
I want to go to a tournament in Japan. I saw the one that happened for Masters Tokyo, and I want to be able to experience that as well. Like I think that was one of the best events I've ever seen. So I want to be able to play in that arena as well.
Yeah, Japan's the coolest place, and the fans are, like pretty hyped there also.
Yeah, the fans seem very hype. I did like Japan a lot when I visited.
Right, but what about like a location that hasn't like what about like
Location
yeah
that hasn't
yeah
been
that
on.
hasn't been in for VCT International?
I would say New York. I don't know if you count Red Bull as the international, but I personally wouldn't. So I would say New York, Madison Square Garden. Holy.
During LCQ 2022, when you were on Shopify, you went against Shroud on Sentinels. This viewer was wondering if you like felt anything when you went against Shroud.
No, I thought we were gonna destroy them, and I'm pretty sure at one point in that game I had 0 kills. I think it was at halftime I had 0 kills. So I played one of my worst games ever, but I thought it was cool to play against Shroud, but I thought we were actually just gonna destroy them. I just got owned. I got owned like me.
Next question: how do you manage the pressure and attention you get from fans?
Um, I don't struggle with that at all because I'm very disconnected from social media. Like obviously I stream a lot and I tweet once in a while, I post on my Instagram story, whatever, but I don't really read what people say about me at all. Um, Honestly, even when I scroll on Twitter, my feed doesn't even have Valorant posts. Like that's how disconnected I am. It's just like things that I'm interested in. So all the drama, all the whatever nonsense, all the talk people have about me, all the conversations, rankings, criticisms, whatever, I don't really see it. But I do see the nice messages though, like when people DM me. It's always nice.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to have because like it can get to your head sometimes, like for some people.
It gets to a lot of people's head, like more than you know. It gets to almost every pro player I've seen's head when they just like constantly read it. So I'm not doing that.
This person says, my first impression of you was how you always smiled at the camera. Your personality is one of the reasons I look up to you as a player. How do you manage to maintain a positive attitude?
Um, I just don't think that things are really that serious to get upset about, you know? I think like people really struggle to enjoy the moment when they're playing. They get very emotional, which is understandable. There is a lot of pressure, there is a lot of a lot at stake, but I think the team that'll win the most is the one that keeps his head like the coolest in times like that. And I feel like it's probably my biggest strength as a player is that I'm very level-headed and very cool-headed. So I don't think I'll ever struggle with that.
Sausage McGinley 6285 asks, what was your team's celebratory meal after winning champs? And he also adds in parentheses, in case Scuba had to eat from 3 different places. I don't think that was necessary, but
uh, now we went to some French restaurant and we had a reservation for like 25 people or 30 people. It was a big celebration. It was our whole team, all the staff that we had, everyone's families. You know, my brother was there, my brother's girlfriend was there, the Scuba's parents were there. Trying to think who else. Honestly, I'm missing quite a few people, but it was an amazing celebration. You know, we had 2 big tables, a lot of French food. Everyone had their like champs chain on with the jacket. We were all like matching pretty much. It was pretty cool. Yeah, we were pretty cool. And no, it was nice. It was a lot of fun. That was a nice dinner.
alright. So what were like some of the the food you ate?
It was just a bunch of French. It was a bunch of French food. I think so. Like I mentioned, I'm a pretty healthy person. So I think what I got a burger because I hadn't had a burger in so long. You know, like it's been so long since had a burger. I just treated myself. I think I had a burger. We had, bro, we bought so many things of food. We had everything: oysters, escargot. I don't even know, man. We literally got the whole menu. I'm pretty sure, and a bunch of drinks. It's very nice.
So now onto very silly, goofy questions. First one from Drew Val. Would you rather fight 5 normal height scubas or 1 scuba that is the same height as you?
Kind of a question is that, bro? I'll play one scuba at my height.
Alright, why?
Whoever wins wins. Whoever wins wins, bro. I can't take 5 scubas. He's not a Goomba. Like what? I can't win that. So he's a normal sized human being.
Alright. What's your McDonald's order?
I get I get 1 quarter pounder, no, or two quarter pounders.
2, damn. Like if you're feeling it?
Yeah, and I get like if I'm hungry, bro, I'll get
Uh-huh.
2 quarter pounders, and then I'll get a McChicken or a junior chicken in Canada, and then maybe I'll get 2 junior chickens, so that's 4 total. And then I don't care about fries or soda. I just want the burger. I mean I get the fries because they're good, but I don't really eat them that
I
much.
just love burgers. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big burger guy. I just can't stop eating burgers.
Alright, next question. What is your hair routine?
I don't have one. I just wake up and just go about my day. I wash. I mean, I wake up and I take a shower, and this is just my hair when it dries.
I mean, your hair's just naturally majestic like that.
Looks pretty chopped. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I need a haircut pretty soon, but
If you could go back to the make him TP incident, if you were given another chance, would you still have went to the Chambers TP?
nah. To be honest, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. I would have ran at the chamber and naded him, or naded him and then push spawn. That's what I would have done.
Alright, so you admit that you're on the wrong now.
No, no. I actually said this on stream too. I said Faker. I said Faker himself is probably the only person that would have naded backside because it happened so fast. You know.
Alright, so we should
You know when we
still.
were when we were when we were in New York. No, no. Don't say it. Don't say the hashtag. Uh, when we were in New York, we were hanging out with Tyson. Like Tyson and Kaide. And I showed Tyson, I was like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "Bro, I like Adam's play. Like Adam made the better play there." And then we came to the agreement that the best play possible is if I naded backside and then push spawn. You know? Cause like, but that's a faker level play.
Right, like it happens too fast and stuff.
You have to be a computer to do that.
Okay. So we should be killing scuba, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright. Because you are so tall compared to everyone else and you can see the top of their heads, who on NRG is balding?
Next question, bro.
Alright. If you could swap bodies with someone for a day, who would it be?
Anyone?
There's anyone.
Swap bodies by anyone. Probably like Shaq. It's just see what it's like to just be a fucking monster just walking around.
How many inches tall is that? Like,
Oh,
it's not,
he's probably like up here, bro. But he's also like look at me, like I got nothing, you know. I got like he's like this, bro. You gotta think about that.
do you have any hidden talents that people might not know?
Hidden talents? No, I'm a good swimmer. I'm good at soccer. I can. That's a low key one. You gotta censor that one. That's only for you to know. That's a very low key one. You gotta censor that one.
Between you and Scuba, which one of you is Shake and which one of you is Shaq?
I think I'm Shake and he's Shaq because when we've gotten Shake Shack in the past, I got the shake and he didn't get a shake, you know. So it's only fair.
He just wants all the burgers.
He just got like 8 burgers and I got like 1 shake.
Yeah, you get one of everything, you know.
Exactly.
Let's go into the operator.
Kelly, and
Whoa.
now Kelly leaks the truth.
Whoa.
And now Kelly leaks the truth. One of everything. I never heard of
Bro,
that.
I'm off camera, bro. Who does some shit like that? Fuck that. I can't believe that's out there. I can't believe that's just leaked. That's a true story too. That's the worst part.
Another question asked, do you ever plan on doing a mukbang stream with Scuba?
It's actually not a bad idea at all. Just kind of hard to set up because we're very busy when we're in LA. But maybe like down the line.
Last final question. You get asked this a lot on stream. What is Winterfall?
I was trying to think of a new name, and I was like, okay, I like winter. Winter just randomly popped in my head. I think I was listening to some song on YouTube, and I saw the word winter. So I was like, all right, I like winter. I'm born in the winter, and then I just like the number 4 because my birthday is 12/16, and then the first number I think of when I think of those two numbers is 4.
Is that a
You
BS
really think
answer?
about that. So it's like that's a real
That's a
answer.
real
I
answer.
swear, that's a real
Okay.
answer.
We believe you. We believe
Common
you.
common denominator.
Right, common denominator. You know, like you take the thing. It's
Yeah, exactly.
yep,
It's a 4. It's a 4.
Let that
Yeah.
sink in. Yeah,
Someone please let this sink in.
that's all I have. Let me get a YouTube thumbnail real quick. We just like stand to the camera like.
No. Wait.
All right, that's great.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
I'll take it again.